Welcome back, Sports Biz Campus. This is your host, back with Miss Casey Rieger's Chalk Talk interview. Casey, this will be broken into 4 quarters since we are in sports and entertainment. We'll jump right into our Chalk Talk interview. Our first quarter being the preseason, we'll start off with your name, where you're from, where you work, and your official job title.
I am Casey Rieger. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I work at the NBA. I split time between the NBA's Fantasy and Gaming Group and the NBA 2K League, which is the NBA's affiliated esports league. I am an executive assistant, so very fortunate to work where I work. I love what I do.
Perfect. So what is one aspect of working in sports do you appreciate the most?
Every single person that I work with is excited to be there every day. You know, they love what they do. So it's encouraging to work with like-minded people who are also just as passionate and enthusiastic about sports that I am. It creates a really, inclusive and collaborative environment.
Gotcha. So when you were younger, what did you initially want to do for a career?
When I was younger, middle school days, early high school, I thought I wanted to become a professional athlete or a sideline reporter. I always knew that I wanted to work in sports, but 10 years ago when I was 15, I never would have thought of esports, as a career path for myself. So life can change. So and here we are.
Who or what experience gave you your first break into the sports industry?
When I went to UNCW, I went to Wilmington for my freshman and sophomore year. I played volleyball there freshman year. I actually ended up quitting in December of that year, and in the spring of the following year, I joined the on-campus TV network and became a sports reporter. So I would go to different sporting events and conduct interviews with players, team managers, coaches, and then do little write-ups for the website each week on some of those matchups. So I think that gave me a lot of really great experience and, some confidence also. That was really the first thing that I was able to put on my resume that was relevant for internships and jobs, aside from, the fact that I grew up playing sports.
Gotcha. Okay. So being that you got these different experiences young in your professional career, what was that time when you realized that this could be a tangible career in the sports industry that you could actually pursue?
My first internship was with The Tonight Show at NBC Universal, Jimmy Fallon, and because I thought I wanted to do something in production. From that internship, NBC had another program where they brought interns to Rio for the Olympics. So I went to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and spent 4 weeks out there.
Wow.
And had the most incredible experience. And I think that was eye-opening for me to see that I have to work in sports. I'm so passionate about it. I love the people who also work in the industry. I got to see so many live Olympic events that I can't even put into words how magical they were, because sports just brings people together and is such a way to unite people and bring communities together. So some of those moments I got to witness, I get chills talking about it. It's once in a lifetime, and that was right before my NBA internship, and it just kind of propelled from there.
Absolutely. And transitioning into your current role today at the NBA 2K League, if a high school student were to shadow you on your day-to-day, what would they see you doing?
So my day-to-day changes on a daily basis. I'm doing different tasks, but my main role that you'd see me doing is making sure that the managing director of the league stays organized and his schedule is in order, making sure he's prepared for meetings. If he needs, some background on meeting attendees, I'll do that. If he needs a presentation created, I'll help him with that, coordinating his travel arrangements, keeping track of expenses. And then as his assistant, I'm lucky because I get to work with a lot of our sub-departments within the group and have hands-on experience with them. I recently helped the league operations team with some mental health initiatives for our players, and also set up a player orientation that was at the beginning of the season. So, that involved coordinating with external speakers, finding a large conference space in New York that would fit our league, and managing that budget and all the little details that came with that. So kind of all over the place, a Jacqueline of all trades, I would say.
I like how you phrase it, Jacqueline.
Yes. Yes.
Gotcha. So it sounds like you're a pretty busy woman. You got a lot on your plate.
Mm-hmm.
So what is one skill that has helped you succeed and sustain in the sports industry?
One skill that comes to mind is communication. I had a lot of really great mentors through my internship. So making sure to communicate with them even after the internship was over and kind of maintain that relationship. If I got another internship or another job, making sure they were the first to know before, my LinkedIn connections knew. Also, I get to go to a lot of industry events now. So building that network and connecting with other people in the sports industry, communicating with them. It's so much easier to do your job when you are able to build your network and expand your horizons within the industry, because it's all really interconnected. And New York is a huge place, but often, in the sports industry specifically, it can definitely feel very small.
Perfect. So what are two aspects of your job that you feel are most satisfying in your current role?
First aspect, obviously, that I just get to work in sports. I mean, I pinch myself every day. I feel so lucky because I knew that this is something I've always wanted to do, and living in New York especially adds to that. It feels like a dream. Second, just what I was referencing earlier is the hands-on experience I get to have with our sub-departments, because since I am so junior in my career, it's nice to have the opportunity to work with marketing and sponsorship and finance, league operations, social, all these different avenues within esports, so I can get a better sense of, what I want to do, what I want my next career move to be, and thinking about long-term as well. So that is very satisfying.
Perfect. And I wanted to get your perspective on being that you traditionally didn't know a lot about esports going into it. Mm-hmm. Where do you see the future of esports going forward? And how do you see esports playing into sports whenever everything opened back up and is back live and in color?
Live and in color. I think a lot of people are worried, that once live sports comes back, esports will kind of fall to the wayside, and I just totally disagree with that. I think esports is at the forefront now, and just constantly expanding and growing, and it's such an innovative industry. What I envision it is that esports and live sports will somehow become more interconnected than they ever have been, and I think quarantine is definitely exponentially kind of push that forward.
Absolutely. So ending off our interview with some career advice for our high school students. If you could go back and tell high school Casey one piece of advice, what would you tell yourself?
I would tell her to seek out learning opportunities and, take initiative, use the resources around you. I know it's easy to say, but they didn't teach that in high school, and my parents didn't work in corporate America and all that, and it's so easy to make those excuses, right? But you can utilize the tools around you. You have counselors at school, family, friends, YouTube, TikTok. You can learn anything on YouTube. Just being proactive and knowing that the information is out there, you just have to go and find it.
Absolutely. And after attending this camp, what is the very next step a high school student should take to potentially be in a career like yours one day?
Right now, go check out your social media page, make sure that it is a great representation of you, and use your social media accounts and your LinkedIn as a tool. I think it's so beneficial to have, and it's a great way to network, and you can never stop, building your network. Even after experiencing this camp, I would say go reach out to people you've heard their chalk talks or panels, send them a quick thank you note, ask them if they'd be willing to set up 30 minutes to chat. You can learn about their career. A lot of people in the industry are more than willing to sit down and chat with you and be a resource for you. So don't be scared to reach out. Absolutely.
And I want to thank you for joining us on our Chalk Talk, Ms. Casey. Definitely been a pleasure. High school students, don't hesitate to reach out to. I'm sure she's more than willing to be a resource for you guys. So stay tuned for more content that we have coming up in regards to industry professionals we have for our Chalk Talk, and off with some peace and salutations from Casey and I. Last words, Casey?
Thank you for having me. I think this is an amazing initiative and program, and like Christian said, I'm here for life advice, career advice, you name it. Boyfriend, girlfriend advice, all of it, whatever.
She's down for it all. So be sure to reach out to Casey. Like I said, we'll have a bunch more industry professionals coming up for you guys. Stay tuned for more content. Peace, guys.